Hello friends of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay. Hello. So today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I never thought I'd be speaking on my channel. However, a lot of you recently, and people in the real world as well, have come to me saying, hey, I'm having trouble in this area. What are your suggestions? This arena that I have very little current experience in is the dating arena. However, I do have experience in something, and that is the brains of humans. So we're going to take some of the understandings of type and apply them to things in the dating scene that you may just be hitting it completely wrong with. This video isn't in particular how to go get guys, how to go get girls. No. We're not talking about the sensory. We're talking about the concept of how you're trying to approach the situation in a wrong fashion a lot of the time. So let's grow and learn together. Here we go. Now, the ones who are going to need the most help here, and I think a lot of people who are on my channel currently, are NT types and ST types. The ones that this video will apply to less are going to be the NFs and the SFs. I'm always hearing the things that people are doing and the applications that they're using and the ways that they're trying to approach the thing that is the date, the encounter, right? The SF game lends itself very well to dating. How am I coming across to this person in the physical reality? Am I coming across as someone who may be valued? Dating game in general has been historically very SF, but now, even more in 2020, is it the perfected version of SF. You have all of the typical apps these days, the Bumbles, the Tinders. Now, what's the problem here? Well, it gives a great advantage to those who are either SF or who have learned to do the SF game really well. And it's all based off this kind of swipe left, swipe right dynamic with other people. All you're getting in that is straight SF. Here is reality. Do you value it or not? Pick one or the other, left or right. That's all you get. So as someone who is not SF and who maybe hasn't practiced a lot of SF to really hone in on your SF, what happens for you? Well, you try your best to fit into this scene that wasn't designed for you. Okay, mistake number one. I think you really need to look at why you are going into this game of potentially doing a dating app, but potentially doing something else, right? Are you going into it for the sake of practice, number one, or are you going into it for the sake of success, number two? Now, sometimes practice can lead to success, but oftentimes it's going to be a long and hard journey in order to figure out really how to work that game. Now, for myself, I like putting myself in hard situations, painful situations, just traumatic situations, difficult things that cause actual pain in order to grow in a certain area where I see a deficit in myself. So are you approaching this for the sake of science, or are you approaching this for the sake of success? If you're going to the apps for the sake of training and knowing that you're going to fail and knowing that you're going to build a process for yourself that is going to be long and hard, and you're NT, you're ST, right? Go for it. Go for it and try and fail and try again and learn through the process. However, if you're looking just for success and more efficiency, I would say maybe don't try to go overboard on playing a game that was never designed for you to play. All right, so this goes to some of the guys out there, some of the girls as well, especially in the IP variety, right? Some of you make it very, very difficult for us to really get to know you. And sometimes if you make it that difficult to really vibe with and to kind of get along with in some respect, right? If it takes a while to peel back the layers of who you are as a human, then the chances are you getting on second dates and moving forward in this progress of relationship success is going to be a lot harder. So let's say you don't want to learn how to SF well, or that's just not the time you want to be spending in that area. What do you do in that case? So my universal NI answer for this is going to be find the things for yourself first, the things that you love to do, the things that you do well, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you see your passion moving forward towards in the future, way down the line. Don't worry about the tribe. Don't worry about the other people. Don't worry about playing the game. Don't worry about playing the SF game. Those people just end up coming along on that path because they too have that same destination at the end of the road. they're gonna find you, right? They're gonna get looped in on there. The worst thing you can really be doing is playing a game that you're not passionate about, that doesn't mean anything to you, and expecting to find someone who's actually gonna align with your personality type and the person that you are. So when you look at it that way, it's kind of a really inefficient solution to a problem that you're trying to solve. The other thing about typical dating apps is that even if the other people aren't SF, they still know that this dating app thing and this dating world is a very SF oriented space, right? They may be NTs, they may be NFs, right? Like on this app or whatever, and they may be trying to find their person too, but they also suck at the SF game. So when two of you are trying to play this SF game together through this app, through this dating thing, I mean, talk about a crash and burn if both people aren't SF. Like, you're just gonna both be missing each other because you're gonna both be playing SF, but very, very poorly for the sake of each other. So again, time efficiency, right? Time is the most valuable resource. Do you wanna spend it playing a game you were never designed to play? Maybe for practice. What makes sense? What makes sense to you for your own life? You figure that out. You find your confidence in that area and that confidence in that direction, and the right people are just going to come alongside you in that journey as long as you're making space for them. And that's going to be the last thing I'm going to touch on with this whole topic of dating and things like that. And this especially goes out to the DIs, and that's going to be the TIs or the FIs. If you have that as a savior function, this one especially goes out to you. Let's say you're going down your path of life, right? And you're going down to the direction that you see is best for you, it makes most sense, right? And then some little like unicorn prances alongside of you and it's like, hey, I'm going this way too, wanna go together? And you're like, yeah, you seem kind of cool, let's go. Okay. Things are going great so far, right? But what could happen? If you have a savior DI function, that means you're inherently self over tribe. What that means is sometimes you'll be so focused on your own agenda, the things that make sense to you, the things that you like or dislike, that you won't create a space or a vibe for the tribe around you in which they feel comfortable participating. Who wants to work or be or spend time in a space that feels unwelcoming, right? I mean, I can push my way through it. If there's a good reason I need to do it, I'll just go and I'll move through it. But if you're dating, you want the person to be in an enjoyable space so that they can be enjoying their time and have good associations of being around you and being in your area. So with that said, you are responsible for the vibe of the people around you. Now, everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, of course, I want people to have a good time. I want people to have fun. I want things to work for others, right? A lot of the savior DIs will say that. Are you being actually responsible for creating that vibe in that space the majority of the time when that person is around you? Now, at first, you might be like, oh, I can't do that. That's too much. I have to change who I am. We're not talking about changing who you are. You can still be who you are. I'm talking about just allowing that other person to have a voice, to state their own opinion without being shot down, for another person to express their likes and dislikes of things without them seeing like they're devalued or that they're stupid for liking or disliking those things. Value that other person's intellect and what they have to say on something. Everyone is brilliant in something. So even if you're with someone who you're like, I don't know if this is the sharpest tool in the shed, say, this person is smarter than me in some area that I have not yet discovered. Discover that area and then learn from them. Apply that learning to yourself because they are better at something than you. Create a space where they feel comfortable being themselves. So that's my unsolicited opinion on this subject. If it helps you out, let me know. Otherwise, meet me in the comments below. That's how I'd approach a subject. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in my next one. See ya.